Hey everyone, welcome back to Architecture 5610. So I'm in Photoshop right now and I've got this seamless rock texture which you can find on Carmen. There's a bunch of different options. But I'm only in Photoshop just because I want to show you this neat little feature, which is that if I have my rulers turned on here, you can see that I've got a over 1000 by somewhere 1000 pixel image. And you can find this out a little bit more precisely and then also kind of understand what that might mean in inches. So it's saying that this is 14 inches, but so I could also go to image and then image size, and it's going to tell me more of that information. So I've got a 1024 pixel square image, and it's approximately 14.22 inches square as well. But so that's just good to know. Really, we just want to make sure that we're not going to shrink this image too dramatically or scale it up, which would be much worse. So I'm just actually going to close Photoshop because I'm done here. And now we are in Illustrator. So in Illustrator, I just went to File, Open, and then was able to open this image file. And I already had an artboard kind of defaulted from last time I used Illustrator, but so it's giving me this little square here, and that's my artboard. So I'm going to lock my layer and then jump over to double click the artboard button. And if you're a little lost and like wondering why you don't have all of the same layout as me, if you go up here to the top right, there's this button that says Switch Workspace. I'm in Essentials Classic, so that gives me this band of options across the top and some of these down on the left, and you can hit this ... to add even more. But so in Essentials Classic, I'm double clicking this artboard button, and I'm actually just going to change this to a 12 inch. I think the minimum should be 5 inch by 5 inch, but for the sake of the experiment, I'm going to go with a 12 inch by 12 inch and just see if that ends up making a texture that bogs my computer down or something. But so what we're doing is we're editing that artboard, and then we're going to edit the image. So I'm going to unlock the image, go over here and select this image, and then I will go to my window, or is it view? Sorry, view, and make sure that I have snap to pixel turned on. And now with my image selected, I'm going to hold shift and scale this so it snaps to the edge of my artboard. And I'm going to do the same to the other corner. And so I'm only shrinking this by a mild amount. And we are certain that I have a nice seamless image with no artboard exposed on any side. And so next I'm going to select this image or keep it selected, and we're going to go up to the image trace drop down. So you should see image and image trace. So long as you have the image selected, you should be seeing this. I believe you could also go to object and then image trace if you can't find that. So this is a kind of grayscale texture that I have. So I might not need so many color choices for this image trace to pick from. We could do shades of gray. We could do 16 colors. We could do 6 or 3. I'm going to go with 6 for right now, and we'll see what happens. It's going to progress this or process this, and this is my result. So I have 6 different shades of gray in here, and they're all kind of grouped together right now. So if I right click my object or my image that has been image traced, and let's look for the ungroup button, or actually before you can look for ungroup, you have to hit this expand button. And so that breaks this image trace up into all of these actual like line work regions. And that's what this image trace did, is it just turned this image that I had into a big system of Illustrator line work. So now I can right click and I'll see my ungroup button. and I will click off to the side. And then next I can open my layers tab and I'll make a new layer, and this will hopefully make it easier. I'll select one of the shades of gray here, and then I will go to the Select tab up next to File and everything. So go to Select, go to Same, Appearance. You could also do Fill and Stroke. Fill and Stroke is probably a good way to go. There is no stroke, but sometimes you never know. So I'm going to move that to my layer 2. And here we go. Send to current layer, and then I'm going to lock that and turn that off, and then I will select another color and repeat the process. And so I'm just going to have to do this 6 times. If you picked one of those other image trace options, you'd still be doing this for quite a while. So I'm making a new layer again. I'm right clicking. I am going to arrange, send to current layer. And I think you get the picture here. I'm going to skip along. So now that I've gotten all of those different colors onto their own layers, that was just a nice way for me to make sure that I could just hide the ones I've already done. And here we are. I've got all 6 finished out. And so I'm going to collapse that menu, and now I can go to File, Export, Export As, and I'm just exporting this as a JPEG. And so I'm hitting export, hitting yes. You want to make sure that this says RGB and not CMYK. CMYK is for print media, and RGB is for like screens and rendering. I have this set to maximum, progressive. I'm going to hit OK, and that's basically it for this. So the next step would be to bring this image that you've exported, which I know seems kind of odd because you started with an image, turned it into an Illustrator live trace thing, and now you have an image again. But we've kind of abstracted this. It doesn't look quite as real, and we can make some really cool looking rocks, which is what we're going to be applying this texture to now that you've exported it from Illustrator. You can open up this as a rendering material in Rhino. So I'll see you in the next video.